AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe. I think we're giving the Detroit Pistons a little bit too much credit. My brother Flea says this a lot. Fuck have they done? Fuck have they done lately? I'm not listening. Good team on the come up. I mean, you can do all that you want. Like y'all say, we got Tibbs. He makes us better. We've been hold on. Y'all can respond. Last 2 years, we made it to the second round, game 7. Detroit, last I've seen, wasn't jack shit. Having a good season. Get the fuck out of here. Man, listen, until Detroit get in the playoffs and beat somebody, I'm not going for this. Now I'm hearing Draymond Green praise Cade Cunningham, great player, but we got to slow down. Because we be the same people that say Cleveland ain't a threat, but now Detroit is a threat. Get the fuck out of here. Detroit ain't been in the playoffs yet. They ain't did jack shit. I ain't scared of no fucking Detroit. My thing is this, Flea. I think Tom Thibodeau, Brunson and Mitchell Robinson has been in the playoffs, has been in big playoff games before. They know the magnitude and what this is. I think what's important is making sure guys like Kolick, right? Those guys need to be comfortable because I think they're going to be just as important. But I don't think Brunson's first game coming back in the playoffs would be a problem. As long as he stays in shape, he's in the gym working out, he's working up a sweat, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Now, if he's fully healthy, Flea, then cool, bring him back. But for me, I just want us to be 100% healthy in the playoffs. But listen, Detroit is a good team, fun to watch. I like them. But until they do something like how we say about everybody else, same shit people been saying about OKC. They lost in the second round last year. What the hell have they done? What the hell has Detroit done? Ain't nobody catching me with that. I'm sorry. Till they beat us or meet us in the playoffs, the hell with Detroit. Knicks for life, baby.
Playoffs.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Flea. I don't think it's all about what you're saying. Once you got some young guns who's gonna make you work, this ain't about Tibbs, ain't about nobody. Them dudes, Isaiah Stewart be starting some shit. Ain't nobody in Milwaukee trying to start anything. Milwaukee's trying to go on vacation, man. You can see it. Regardless of what they say, Gary Trent, that looks nice. They're weak up. The guards, they weak. They don't play. They don't D up.
So can I ask y'all a question? Can I ask y'all a question? Dame and Giannis in the playoffs with Milwaukee. Are y'all telling me Detroit is a bigger threat? Y'all rather play Milwaukee than Detroit?
I would. Just off the matchup alone and what I've seen them do in the regular season against us and the coach that they have, right? JB Bickerstaff is a hell of a coach. I would much rather see Milwaukee and worry about defending them than Detroit, who is full of shooters, full of tough guys. They'll my opinion, like, and this don't make I love basketball. Like, I hate that I have to even preface this. Like, I love basketball and I love the Knicks. That's my team. But I know what the fuck I'm looking at. And soon and very soon, Cade Cunningham is going to be one of those guys. He is. We love Brunson. Brunson is not going to even be able to hold this nigga's shorts. Cade is going to be on another level. It's already on the way.
Wow.
It's already on the way. If you're not watching, then it's delightful to watch that.
Stop it, Flea. We all watching. We see it. We know what they're doing. They never been to the playoffs.
I'm just saying matchups matter. Matchups matter.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Matchups matter.
If we play Detroit
it's the
tonight,
playoffs. What are we talking about? This ain't the regular season no more.
Even before the regular season, they just beat Cleveland tonight. The same team you said was a threat. They just beat them and held them off.
So now Detroit is a bigger threat. So Detroit is a bigger threat than Cleveland? Go ahead and say it. I want to hear you say that.
No. Don't jump the gun. Don't jump off the roof.
Y'all jumping the gun.
We're talking the facts.
No, y'all not. No, you're not talking facts. They ain't been in the playoffs to show you what they can do. We've been there already.
Been where? We've been hobbled. Jalen Brunson been hobbled, and the rest of the team is looking different. And we lost campaign. We lost a backup point guard. We just getting Mitchell Robinson back. We ain't been there before with this same team.
All I said was they have a bigger guard. Cade Cunningham is a big guard. We're going to have to defend that. They have a lot of shooting. We haven't defended the three-point line well at all this season. Now, all of a sudden, the playoffs come. We're going to flip a switch and know how to defend the three-point line. They shoot it well. They got a lot of tough guys that like to be physical. We're not a physical team anymore. I'm just saying the matchup alone is going to be interesting. I'm rolling with the Knicks. I got the Knicks in 5 or 6, but it's going to be a tough matchup. You being a fan, right? Like, come on. What are we talking about right now?
Nah, y'all being a fan.
That's not a bad team.
No, nobody not saying it's a bad team. Y'all are being a fan. Once again, Detroit ain't been in the playoffs in how long? Cade Cunningham never played in the playoffs. So, like you say, yeah, it's different in the playoffs. We've been there the last 2 seasons.
What did Dame do last year in the playoffs?
I'm talking about Knicks and Detroit right now. I'm talking about Knicks and Detroit.
Yeah, we're also talking about why we want to play Dame Lillard, who's also hurt. He ain't back either. He got a blood clot in his leg or whatever it is. God bless him. But right. But we're done. That's what we're telling you. I'd rather play the Bucks. Detroit is more of a team. They got more of the pieces in the right place. A balanced team. But the Bucks don't even have a balanced team. They just running around with Giannis, praying that he does something great.
Just real quick before y'all finish, everybody in the chat, remember, I prefaced my thing on saying if Dame is healthy. Remember, I know he's out. I know he has the blood clot thing, which I hope he can get better. Because once again, we don't wish that on anybody. I'm just saying it's no way in the world, and yes, I am being a fan of the Knicks. I get out of control, but it's no way in the world that I think Detroit all of a sudden, out of nowhere, is a super threat to a team that has an MVP type player candidate that's been there.
It's going to be a series. I'm taking the Knicks. I'm cool. I'm with you. I'm in the boat with you. I'm in the car with you. I'm just saying I would rather see Milwaukee than Detroit. Just matchup alone. That's it. Detroit, you're right. Detroit ain't done shit yet. But I do not want to. I would rather not. You asked us. I'm not saying they're some world beaters. I would rather see Milwaukee.
Any team with home court advantage wants to see Milwaukee right now. 1, 2, or 3. Cleveland, Boston, New York, they all want to see Milwaukee in the first round. They don't want nothing to do with Detroit or even Orlando get a little bit healthy. They don't want to deal with teams that have something they can compete with you. Even if it's 5 games. 5 games against Milwaukee and 5 games against Detroit is 2 different games. 2 different styles. That's going to be a vacation for these boys, bro. They're going to the bar afterwards. You got to understand what did you see tonight? What did you talk about Tibbs? What did Doc Rivers do to motivate them? What can he possibly do? And then Darvin Ham at the end of that bench. Please give me Milwaukee. The more and more we talk about this, it's like, oh my God, that's who's preparing to play against us? Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers? Oh yes, line that up. Because JB Bickerstaff, I don't even know who's their assistants, but clearly they said they won. This is the first time we ever seen a team win 3 times the amount of wins as the year before. It's not an accident. They got the right personnel, like Flea said. They got the shooters. They got people that want to play in the playoffs. Milwaukee does not even look like they want to play in the playoffs. They look bad. This is an awful display of basketball. I said it from the second quarter on. This looks bad. Giannis is the only one that could really do damage. He's gonna have to have a super duper playoffs series against anybody for them to survive. They don't have the role players. They don't scare me. I've been saying that for 2 years. This ain't nothing new. Detroit this year, after they got rid of the other homie, different. It's a different team.
So let me just ask OG a question then. So just strictly off of Detroit's inexperience is why you rolling with we're gonna be fine whether we play them or not?
Yes. So we up here on all these platforms and we praise experience. We do all of that. And like you say, Flea, the playoffs are different. And you're telling me a Milwaukee Bucks team, remember, I'm saying if they're healthy. Remember, that's what I said when I started this conversation. Of course, if Dame is out, then it's a no-brainer. I said, but I'm saying if Dame is healthy, who we know Dame is in the playoffs, Giannis being a former MVP, champion, finals MVP, Bobby Porter should be coming back. They added Kyle Kuzma. I'm saying that type of pedigree in the playoffs is going to hit a little different. Then you have the Detroit Pistons that hasn't done shit. I'm more scared of playing Atlanta than playing Detroit because there's some history there in the playoffs and in the regular season. Those are bad matchups for us as well. But for me to sit up here and now everybody's going crazy over Detroit, let me see what they do in the playoffs before I jump that gun. Like I said, there's times I don't jump the gun and I'm dead wrong. Y'all told me about SGA 2 years ago, and now I get it. My brothers was totally right. So I can be wrong right now, which I'm totally fine. But I am not going to be sitting up here talking about I'd rather play Milwaukee than Detroit when Detroit ain't did jack shit. Great season. They got a rising superstar that's going to be a problem. I agree to all of that. But we've been there. We have the experience and we have the guys and we have the better team. I'm rolling with that. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
I think I don't want people to get confused with my stance. My stance is not that Detroit would beat us in the 7-game series. I don't believe that. But I do believe that they would pose a threat currently right now for the team that we have, more of a threat than Milwaukee. Milwaukee would have the best player on the floor. That's a fact. I don't think we're going to argue about that. Giannis would be the best player on the floor. But after that, 2, 3, 4, 5, if Dame is not there, the Knicks have the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth best player. We are consistent, and if we're going to stay consistent, we don't trust Doc Rivers, right? If we stay consistent, we don't trust Doc Rivers. And if we look at this Bucks team, they not primed for the playoffs. Not with how they look. I totally agree with Fabian. The body language, how they play, what's at their disposal, nah. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Cancun, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think Giannis is checked out too. Like he knows, man. I think you can hear about someone. Your parents tell you don't hang out with that guy. Your people tell you don't get with that girl, and then you start hanging out with them, and that's how it is with Doc River and Giannis. He sees him every day. He's like, nah. Yo, this ain't it, bro. Darvin Ham's in Milwaukee. Giannis is like, yo, dog, you don't got the same dog like me. I'm here every day, at night, in the morning, working out. I'm eating, breathing, living this basketball thing. And I think Dame does too, but he's just washed compared to the Dame that we know. Because Dame is legendary to all of us. We love Dame. But this ain't the same Dame Lillard, man. This ain't the same Dame Lillard. And them boys in Detroit, they got Asur Thompson is tough defensively.
The league
they got guys that can lock you up, Flea.
The league is getting younger. Like we celebrate experience. But you're not telling me that these young teams, they talk shit. You just say, yeah, OKC got knocked out in the second round. Guess what they did? They came back and won 60 games. They came back and said, okay, niggas don't think we nice. Okay, we're going to come back and win 60 games. And Shay, I'm going to come back and kill everybody again. Since niggas don't think we like that. Like, I get it. The NBA champions have been the teams that have been there before and got experience. But you're not going to tell me that this team that I'm watching right now is a better matchup than the team that we just thumped 3 times this year. We swept Milwaukee this year. Swept them. I don't think we've beaten Detroit since November. Every time we see them, we don't match up well with them. We can fact check that in terms of the record against Detroit. But I've watched them several times. We don't match up well. Do we play them again? When's the last time we played them?
I think we played them again.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the matchups. I'm not even talking about them as a team. They're a good team, but I just think I would much rather play Milwaukee than play that Detroit team.
We played Detroit November 1st. That was really early in the season. The last time we played them was January 13th. That was that big loss we had against them. And again, that's not to say that we think Detroit's going to win the series, but if I had to bet on who was more likely to beat us between Detroit and Milwaukee, that's easy money on Detroit. I can't even, like, the way they play, they're playing way tougher. They got a guard who can get anywhere on the
would
court.
Milwaukee beat us? Let me ask that. Why would Milwaukee?
I'm not saying Milwaukee would beat us. I'm saying, to me, who would have a better chance? I'm going with the team that has a former MVP, a former champion, and a guy named Lillard that at one time was that guy, and we still see what he can do in the playoffs. I'm taking that over some inexperienced guys that's never been there, that's never played in big moments. I'm taking that over that all day, every day. I'm sorry. I
You
just
got to be
said
consistent. Is Dame there or is he not? Like my stance changes on Milwaukee if Dame Lillard is healthy and ready to go.
Even if he's healthy, Flea.
No, my
If we're
stance
talking
changes.
about,
My stance
right,
changes.
but okay, but so we're worried about Brunson coming back healthy, correct? Like, that's how this whole thing started. He has to get into game shape. Dame Lillard's gonna have to get into game shape. Look at LeBron. LeBron looks totally different. That 2-week vacation, I'm starting to rethink it. Like, maybe he ain't lying, because they went on a stretch where they were doing really well. Then I guess he got hurt or whatever it is. Yo, this thing, that 82 games is real. So to get back into game shape, and then you have to get into game shape for the playoffs. And we worried about Brunson. Brunson 26 years old, man. Dame is 36. He ain't Westbrook and these dudes. He ain't built like that. It's gonna be tough for him too. So even if he is healthy to play, it's gonna be tough for them. And we've seen them. Yo, he doesn't D up. We talk about Luka and these dudes. Dame's defense is horrible. That's easy money. We're gonna get our buckets on him.
If Dame is healthy and ready to go, I would probably, now it's a different story for me.
You go Bucks over Detroit at that point. I would
go.
play Detroit.
I would think both matchups would be tough. I don't even know.
Oh.
I would go. Yeah, I would much rather go with the more inexperienced team in the playoffs for sure. I would agree with OG on that stance for sure. But if Dame Lillard's not available,
I'm just not ready, and I'm not saying y'all are doing this, but I'm just not ready to jump on the Detroit Pistons bandwagon yet. They definitely having a great season. They definitely have a great playing Cade Cunningham, but I'm not going to be sitting up here. I'm hearing Fabian, there'd be a threat to Cleveland and all this. Man, listen, bro, I'm not. I'm just
can't
not
take
going
words
for
and
that.
spin them. Yo, Detroit is gonna play. You don't want to play them in the first. You didn't get home court advantage to play the tougher opponent. That's part of the reason why the playing is people don't like it, because you want to avoid the teams that, oh, you win one game and now you're the 7th seed. Like, matchups is a thing. So now you're ignoring the fact that matchups is a thing. Experience, all these things that we've ever heard our whole life. We just jump over the fact that matchup problems is a real thing. So Detroit is a bigger matchup problem than Milwaukee. Yeah.
Once again,
Dame Lillard is no matchup problem. Detroit is not a bigger threat than Cleveland to win a championship. Nobody's saying that. But Detroit doesn't want to. You don't want to see Orlando or Detroit if you're Cleveland. Boston does not want to see Detroit or Orlando in the first round.
And you have every right to your opinion, and I 100% disagree. That like,
okay,
what you're saying is just mind-boggling. So hold on, it's
that's
different.
Mind-boggling,
right? Yes, you know why? Because it's different if last season Detroit played those two teams in the first round and it was a tough out, and it's like, oh, they got the experience, bruh. They didn't do nothing yet. So
Cleveland hasn't done nothing yet.
Bro, Boston and Cleveland, what do you mean? Boston and Cleveland is not thinking we don't want Detroit in the first round. Are you kidding me?
If you think so, Cleveland hasn't done anything yet. To your point, they haven't won anything.
They done more than Detroit.
Dog, they haven't done anything yet. So if you talking about the playoffs, you talking about when you tried and tested, they haven't done the same thing. You complaining about Detroit, you can't say that about Cleveland either. So if they're gonna go up against, they want a smooth playoffs. You didn't get the first seed to go play a tough matchup, a divisional rival at that. They see Detroit 4 times a year, and they just lost to them without Cade Cunningham, and they're healthy. So to say that this is mind-boggling, nah, this ain't mind-boggling, bro. Them boys are tough. Them boys are tough.
Yeah, okay. I think that Detroit is just a bad matchup for the Knicks. And you're saying that we've been there before, and this is a completely different team. This is not the team that was in the playoffs last year. This is not the team that was in the playoffs 2 years ago. This is a completely different ball club, and you saying it's okay to go into the playoffs with a team that struggles playing defense and a hobbled Jalen Brunson. Like, matchups is gonna matter for the Knicks in the first round. I don't give a fuck who we play at this point. This is not the same team from last year. It is not.
I totally disagree. I think there's only 2 teams that we need to worry about, and that's Boston and Cleveland. If we can't beat everybody else, then we deserve to get our ass kicked. But we should be able to beat everybody else, whoever we match up with in the first round, besides Boston and Cleveland. Whether it's Indiana, Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee. But I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I'm not jumping on that Detroit bandwagon. Yes, they played us tough this season, beat us. Like I said, Kate Cunningham is a problem. But until I see that in the playoffs, because I'm gonna say it again, Fleet, like you said, the playoffs is different. It's a total different ball game.
Hold on. So what is making you so confident about this current Knicks team? Like, fuck anybody else at this point. For whoever we play, we could play an AAU team, one of these niggas in college. What makes you confident about us as a team to say that we're going to be okay against anybody else in the playoffs besides Boston and Cleveland?
Because we have Jalen Brunson and we're a better basketball team than all those other teams. No, hold on. You can't ask me a question.
We can't just sell that. But how you just going to sell it like
that?
That's my Brunson ain't healthy.
Fleet, that's my answer. You asked me a question. My answer is we have Jalen Brunson. Hold on. We have Jalen Brunson, who I've seen what he's done in the playoffs. And I think out of all those teams besides Cleveland and Boston, we have the better team. With the way OG is playing right now, Mitchell Robinson back, I think we have the better team than all those other teams. That's my answer.
Bobby Portis is due back. Earliest he could come back is April 8th, for those of you guys wondering in the chat. Nobody's saying that we think we're gonna lose in the first round, AllBall. I think that's the part
He was saying something.
No, people in the chat are saying that we meet Detroit, we losing, we not beating them.
No, I don't believe that.
No, I'm not saying y'all believe that, but that's what's going on. Like, it's people really in, like I said, when you hear all these haters, like the Draymonds and all these other platforms, I forgot the other dude name. They say, what's your man that was with Miami that played for 38 years?
Udonis.
Right, yeah. You got all these guys drinking the Kool-Aid now. Like I said, because it's flash, it's lightning in the bottle. So it ain't. I'm not bugging. This is what people were saying.
Yo, boy, he told Jimmy Butler in the huddle, "I'll fuck you up."
Yeah. And what Jimmy Butler do? Look at him like he was talking French. Nigga, get out of here. Ain't none of us going to fight on camera, on national live TV and lose millions. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
No, that shit is hilarious.
People drinking that Kool-Aid. I'm not going for that.
You literally 38 years. 38 years old, boy. I'll fuck you up. Who you talking to like that?
And why is people in the chat saying without Jalen Brunson? But why is people saying without Jalen Brunson? Jalen Brunson is coming back. What are y'all talking about?
But no. See, but that's how the conversation started, and that's the part.
No, it didn't.
Hold on, but if you think Milwaukee, of course it did. If you think Milwaukee's a tougher matchup, and you'd rather see Jalen Brunson go up against Detroit than Milwaukee, that's how the conversation started. No, I don't want to see him come back to go play Detroit. Them young boys are looking to get better.
I'm saying in the chat, people were saying without Brunson. I never said without Brunson going up against Detroit. I was saying that I think Fleet acts without Brunson, and I said the only 2 teams I think we would beat, I said, is Atlanta and Milwaukee without Brunson. That was the initial when Fleet asked that. But my initial argument was fully healthy. Who would we rather see? Who's a more threat? Milwaukee, if they had game with Bobby Portis, or Detroit. So I'm not talking to y'all. I'm just arguing some people in the chat because they misunderstanding what I'm saying. But my last point is, I'm just saying, with the Detroit Pistons thing, they are having a turnaround great season. I agree. They have some dogs over there. They are scary. I agree. They have an up-and-coming rising superstar that is tough. But they have to make me a believer in the playoffs. I'm going to say it again. My brother Fleet always says it. Playoff basketball is totally different. I don't know how they are going to respond in the playoffs, being the first time. They may respond great or they may not. I'm just saying, for me, that's not scary going against guys that don't have the experience or never been there, compared to looking at a Giannis and a Dame. You know, it's like old wolves. They hungry. They gonna go out on their shield. A guy that's been there, that has, so that's just my opinion. I'm not going for the Detroit Pistons hype. Yes, they play as tough in the regular season. Yes, they may be a bad matchup, but we have the better team. We have our superstar, and I just think we're a better basketball club, and it shouldn't be no problem.
AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.